Hello and welcome back to another video. In the last video, I did a bunch of small refactoring stuff. I renamed graph set to metric. I renamed this get name to get internal name. And here I misspelled it. I put an E here, but I've already fixed that in this. I'm going to fix this today actually. Um, then name from args is now called internal name from args, just because internal name is more descriptive than just get name, especially now that I have this title attribute. I just wanted the name to be more explicit. And so also on the metric base class, I have these previous tick and previous poll methods, which I haven't built out yet, but I will do that this video. Also, I removed the tick time from the poll method. I added this optimized uptime metric, which metric is the new name for a graph set. But this isn't working yet. This is still a work in progress. I'll probably finish this, not this video, but maybe in a future video. Again, renamed, removed tick time, rename, remove tick time. And so I removed tick time, and instead of passing in tick time to the call here, instead what we do is we append the tick object, the whole tick object to the graph set. That way you have not just the tick time, but you also get the machine name and also the tick time available through your graph set poll method. And another rename. And then before, if test was true, then we didn't create a tick. But since it's now part of this right here, what we do is we create the tick no matter what, even if test is not true. And if test is true, we just delete it at the end. And it has the same result as before. And so again, rename method names, and that's it. And in this video, I'm going to do a few more kind of small refactoring kind of stuff. The first thing I want to do is I want to move this title. I want to move it so that it's right here, because it's weird how there's this like big white space here. So I'm going to improve that. Also, this graph here says system load average, and this one here also says system load average. But they're two different graphs. This one is system load position 0, and this one system load position 1. But they both show up as just system load average. And so what I'm going to do is, in the metrics, I'm going to do sort of like what I did with get internal name from args. I'm going to have get title from args. So we're just going to append a little bit of text to the end of the title to differentiate it from another metric that's similar. And also I'm going to add a title here. So this is 10.0054, but this is days, but it's not shown on the graph. So I want to add a label along here that just says days. And for this one, it would be system load. So I'm going to do that also. And also I'm going to, if I have time, I'm going to implement these methods, these ones, previous tick and previous poll. So to get started, I'm going to add the title. And so the way I'm going to do that is for plotly, there's this layout argument. So this new plot method takes 3 arguments. The first one is the div ID. The next one is your actual data that you want to graph. And the third one is this layout. And it takes this title attribute, which is how you set the graph. And so I'm going to use that for displaying the title. So in the actual page, we have this this H2. I want to get rid of the H2. I'm just going to delete that. And instead put that same text. I'm just going to put an HR here instead. This just makes like a vertical line or a horizontal line. And so down here, we're going to go so there it is now. I can refresh the page and it should show the graph is being part. There it is, system load average. Again, this looks a little bit nicer, I think. Now the next thing to do is to add the y-axis title. And the way I do that is similar. We have this x-axis. You can title the x-axis. You can set other options. But we're not going to do that for now. We're going to set the y-axis title. And the way you do that is just say y-axis, and then within there you have another one that says title. So I'm going to do that. So this needs to be added to the metric class. So for metrics, we're going to say for uptime, it's going to be days. This is the unit that the poll returns. For system load, this is just going to say load average. And then this one will be kilobytes. Now we'll test it, see if it worked. Looks like something broke. So I'll load up the dev console. Looks like I have an extra parenthesis somewhere. Oh yeah, I forgot the closing one. Looks like it worked. There it is, load average in days. So that's done. Now the next thing I'm going to do is in metrics, I'm going to implement these previous tick and previous poll. And so I already wrote the previous poll, it looks like. I did that off video. I was going to delete it, but I guess I just forgot. So this is how it's going to work. I'm doing the import inside of the function call. And the reason why I'm doing that is because normally when you do imports, you do them up at the top here. But I can't do this up here because this file is being imported by the settings file. So inside the settings, we can't import a model. Because if you do it, because when the model page imports the settings. So if the settings imports models, then that's a circular import. And that can't be allowed. So instead, we have to do the import at the time of the when you call the function. And so what we're doing is just poll result.objects.filter name equals self internal name. So it's pulling its own poll results. And then this dot latest is it's just saying based on the field of the time, we're going to get the latest one. And so in order for this to work, you have to modify the model, which I might have already did. Yeah, so you do this class meta and you say get latest by, and so this is tick date. So this model itself doesn't have the date, but it has tick, and then tick has a date. So when we say get latest, we're saying get latest by tick date. So if this wasn't here, then it wouldn't work. So we have to define get latest by in order for the latest to work. And if it does not exist, it just returns none. And for previous tick, I'm going to do the same thing. also I want to actually save the poll result to kind of prevent having to re-import. So down here in the poll, if I do like I do that, and then immediately afterwards I can do self.tick.objects.whatever, and I don't have to re-import, basically. So that's why I'm setting this as a method to the object. Yeah, I'll do it here too. And I think this won't work because this will pull itself, I think, because we want the one that's, yeah, because tick is going to be the latest one. So we want the one that's less than the latest one. But I'll get back to this later. What I'm also going to change is uptime. So the way this is working is we're doing uptime, and then like as the command, and then we're parsing the output. But that's not a very good way because it's not very accurate. It doesn't give you seconds. It only gives you days, hours, and minutes. So there's actually another way. It's called psutil, which is a Python module that's part of the standard library. So I'm going to import it. And it's called boot time. This gives you a timestamp of when you did a last reboot, and it gives it to you in seconds and also milliseconds. So it's really accurate. And it's now when you're graphing uptime, it doesn't really matter that you don't have seconds, but it's having seconds and milliseconds is helpful when you're testing. So you don't have to wait a minute to do each like test run. You can just run it immediately and you get a different output. So the way what we're going to do is we're going to convert this timestamp into a datetime object. There's a method called from timestamp. So this is boot. We'll call this boot date, and we're going to say datetime now minus boot date, and then there's this total seconds argument. So this inside this parenthesis, whenever you take two dates and you subtract them, it results in it's called a time delta object. And so there's a total seconds argument that you can run that gives you the total number of seconds of this this time delta. So this will give you the total number of seconds between now and when we booted. And so, but this takes it in days instead of in seconds. So we need to convert seconds to days. So we divide it by a number, and to get that number, we'll just use Google. It's 86,400. And to test this, I'm just gonna here just say print, and we'll see if it gets the same. Actually, I'm just gonna do this for now. So if I just return this date time converted to a string, it'll give me output very similar to what uptime gives me. So I'm going to go to the shell. I forgot the import. Yes, this is up 10 days, 1 hour. And this says 10 days, 1 hour, 4 seconds. So it's accurate. It's the same. It's the correct data. And so now I'm going to add this back. Remove this. Oh, remove the string. There it is. And so we can now delete all this. And so then that's done. And that's going to be it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to finish previous tick, because right now this is not returning the actual previous tick, but this is kind of hard to do because there may be multiple machines, so we need to pull that. Actually, we want second to latest, but there is no second to latest method, so we have to do some trickery to get the second to latest. So that'll be the next video. And also in the next video, I'm going to work on getting this working. Directory size is already mostly working right now. I just need to, it's just a small amount of work needed to get it going. And yeah, that's it for now. Commit the code. As you can see, I went through here already and I changed everything from metric to graph set in the whole project, every file. Also, I fixed that misspelling where I had the get internal with the E, change it to an A. I just did that off camera just because it's kind of a boring thing and it's not something that people want to watch. So and there it is. And I will see you next video.